Well, I mean, I know we have 5 more minutes and 2 more items to get to, so I'm not going to take up a lot of time. I would just like to say, for the record, we have no staff presentation. We have no vetting by the staff. We have nothing other than this council discussion to give away money. It's completely not consistent with the standards set by this council within the last 30 days and flies in the face of all the other bars that have been raised for everybody else in this community. But again, you know, without being controversial, we know how this is going to go. I just want to put that on the record, and I think we should call off the question and just move to the vote.
Councilwoman Padilla.
Thank you, Mayor. You mentioned that this didn't have to go through a normal NOFA process. Tina, Jordan, can you confirm that, explain that?
Tina McCarty, Economic Development Director. I'll do the best I can to explain that. In many cases, we do put out NOFA processes for different available funding we have, and many organizations are applying for that funding for the projects in advance. It's a piece of many other pieces of their overall financing plan. In this case, so some may have held back or been waiting for a process to get an allocation of funding to then apply for BCHIP to the state and say, I already have this allocation. I'm trying to catch up with this project because we were not aware of this project up until the letter came to light that there was an indication from the previous city manager that there was an obligation or an intention to obligate. So I don't know a lot about this project. I can say that it did not apply. And I guess what I would say in answer to your question about a NOFA process, this is, he applied, he's now got an intention for the grant, a large grant award from the state, and he all along needed to be able to provide matching funds. What he thought he had figured out for matching funds fell through, and that led him here today.
Would it be common for, I think Vice Mayor mentioned like some type of contingency to say he would have to have the difference?
Well, my understanding is it's an all or nothing, so he has to have the entire 10%
Right.
matching
He
for the state.
Get anything.
So it's at the pleasure of council as far as your action you're taking tonight to you know, if he doesn't have the full 10%, then, you know, you would need to decide it by your motion as to whether he would then be eligible for the $300,000.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Blower.
So I think that kind of answered my question. I wondered if Mr. Hill couldn't get the extra 500, then we're not out that 300. So the 300 would be done. Overall, I don't like the way all this went down. I don't like the lack of information, but I want resources to come to my city. And I do recognize that getting the $8 million grant from the state, that does tell me the state did some vetting, and I think, you know, again, I'm not thrilled with how we got here and being kind of under the gun, and I think to stay consistent with what I said a month ago when we were talking about the other BCHIP opportunity, I want funding to come to my city. So I think if we can get that, and I guess my last question about the 300,000, it says, with council approval of its intent to fund, staff will continue to research program guidelines to ensure any subsequent funding award agreement with Service First California Incorporated meets compliance requirements prior to coming back to council for approval of the final agreement. So we're also going to have another, like a look at it. What's the final agreement? What, can you explain that?
Well, I think because we identified other funds, at the time, we didn't have the opioid funds. I mean, we have the opioid funds. We just didn't know that it could be applied to this project.
Okay, but you've figured out that we can apply it to this project.
It can be applied to this project, but it's going to have to come back to, because once he then figures out what he's doing, then we'll have to come back and present for the actual award.
Okay, so at that point, he will have identified the other 500 and whatever. Okay. Well, then I'd like to make a motion that we approve this.
So really quickly, before you vote, we do need to have findings to justify the exception to the competitive bidding process.
Exception, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Through the mayor, for clarity. So there's a code section, 368.070. It talks about exceptions to competitive bidding. And it says that the council can award contracts for over 100,000, which this would be, without competitive bidding, i.e. a NOFA process, as long as you make appropriate findings to justify and support. So I've heard on, during the council's discussion, information regarding the importance of this type of project and the impact on the community, et cetera, and that information can serve as basis for those findings, but I'm going to have to defer to staff as to whether or not they believe that that discussion provided enough for them to create appropriate findings to support council action.
And does there need to be anything, because it's substance abuse, that's where the opioid funding would go to that project?
I think that that would be a finding that supports the action, certainly. And again, I think that there was plenty of discussion on the record, but if staff believes that they need a little more from you, then I'll defer to them on that.
Okay. So there is a motion.
A second.
And a second. I'll go over findings. I can. Councilmember Enriquez.
Yeah, just a quick question. Mr. Crew, you just mentioned, and just for clarification, Councilmember Blauer asked about when did you find out that we could use that opioid funding for this? Was it between the 7th from the letter that we got to now, or when did we figure that out?
Last night.
So I'm really big about process. So in general, I mean, I still have a lot of questions that I don't fully have answered myself, and I think about the public perception. In terms of just moving forward, it seems like collectively we need a reset, in all of these different issues, especially when it comes to our budget. The council, there's a lot of behind the scene discussions we have about our budget. We're working with our staff. We're slowly getting to a point now where trying to move forward. We now voted in a city manager. We're in the process of a CFO. As newer council members, I'll speak for myself. I'm still learning about the process. We have staff who, Tina and Jordan and your team, you work extremely hard in terms of this process. I know in certain ways it's different, but then it's not. And as we're trying to reset and really give a standard of what we're trying to do collectively to the public, I want us to be all on the same page as we move forward. So from a month ago, we go from this one vote, now we're going to this. And, Mr. Hill, I don't know you. I have research organization. It looks like fantastic work, so I have no personal opinion of you personally. I just know the work that you do is really inspiring. The timeline for me where these surprises are coming up now is concerning for me, so I can't imagine the people that are here and the people that are watching what now they think. So I really want to just come to a point where we can reset and really set the standard in the process. Just like we are now going to give our expectations to our city manager, we also have to give a process of what we expect moving forward. And right now, I don't feel like we are doing that for the community that we serve.
Okay, so last Thursday, because it had to be in, I identified funds, actually as of October 27th, we received $2,214,671.35 with $331,747.50 that we actually had received as a additional amount from DuPont. And this was a message that was sent out by Ms. Asuncion to all of us. And then it was staff that identified another a fund for this. And then I was told, oh, well, we can use the opioid fund instead of using this fund or the one that was originally listed in the staff report. So that's how we got to the opioid. It wasn't just that we figured it out last night. Other pots of money were identified. It wasn't until last night that it was checked that, oh, we could use opioid money for this because it substance abuse.
Just
So,
point of information, and this is the only time I'm going to do it tonight, I promise.
point of clarification, there is no information, point of information in
Okay, well,
Rosenberg's
point of
rules.
order then. I'll do a point of order.
I recognize your point of clarification.
Okay, that's fine. So if I understand correctly with Section 408 of the Charter, City Attorney, Section 408, and then this is educational for me to understand. Can one of us go to staff and say, go find this money, or does that have to come to council for council to give direction to staff to then go find the money? Because what I'm trying to understand is, when we talk about how we're governed and how we do ethical governance, if we govern as a body, how can we as individuals call staff and say, go find this money, or go work and find this money? Because that then is one person directing the staff versus us as a body directing the staff. That's just a question just for process I'm trying to understand. And the second thing is that my understanding from all the investigations I've been put under, or I've been told I was going to be under in directing staff, was to not do that very thing. And so I just want to understand process, back to what my colleague was saying, because for me, I'm a process person. Anytime I think the process is changing or not being consistent, then that's where I start to go on social media and do all the things that people don't like. So City Attorney, can you clarify that for me?
Sure, and I'm going to clarify by starting with the language in the charter. Section 408 reads like this in pertinent part. Neither the council nor any of its members nor the mayor shall interfere with the execution by the city manager of his or her powers or duties. There's a lot more to that section, but that's kind of the pertinent part for purposes of this conversation. None of you individually have the right to go to the manager or any charter officer and tell them what to do, either with their, own employees or in carrying out the policy direction that this body provides. You always have the right, and you often do exercise the right, to go and talk to your city manager, whoever that may be, and ask them, to bring things forward or look for information or, provide background, things like that. You have the absolute right to do that. Whether a given manager, whoever that may be, decides to do something in partnership or, I think use the word at the direction of, or, on, request from, however you want to phrase it, from one of the council members, that's a decision that's made by the city manager. And if the council doesn't like that, the council has to address it with that city manager. But in theory, yes, the way that section reads, none of you up here are supposed to be giving direction and telling staff what to do, but you do have the right to work with the manager, and the manager, as he or she sees fit, will work with you.
Okay. And I didn't tell him find the money. I said I found the money, I thought. Councilwoman Padilla.
Thank you. I completely understand Vice Mayor's question, but also in this situation, how typical is it for the mayor to write their own staff report? So if you are writing your own staff report, then you're going to have to get information for that staff report. I mean, typically staff writes the report, correct? And she wrote it, so she's having to obtain the information.
I guess I'm unclear on that point.
She wrote the staff report.
Yes. So,
No, I get that, but I guess I'm unclear on the point.
Councilwoman Ponce.
Thank you, Mayor. So first, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate the work that Mr. Hill has done. I work in the healthcare, so I get to see every day how serious the needs are here in Stockton. And people are really needing housing and struggling with mental health and substance abuse. And I just feel like we need housing and services like this. Thank you.
Okay, so we do have a motion and a second. Findings for it, you have some of them there. We have that they will be providing services, that they will be providing substance abuse counseling there, that they will be providing housing, I think he said as low as $100 or whatnot there. that, did you want him to say?
The findings are for staff, so that's why I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
manager, is this working for you? Is this enough for you? I directed to him because he and his staff are gonna be drafting
Oh,
these.
okay, okay. So I see it as, there will be, housing for people, there will be, support, peer support, respite, there will be, substance abuse, mental health. Actually, I put it in the staff report that I wrote. Let me look at it. So, there's adult residential, treatment, outpatient treatment, projected to serve 18,720 individuals annually, social rehabilitation facility, and then peer respite that are all being offered at that location in a property that could use, I would say, more residents.
I'd like to amend the motion, Mayor. All of the support or financial support or obligation that the city enters into, if that does pass tonight, has to be contingent on the full amount being provided to the state by the expiration stated in the letter. My understanding from Mr. Hill is that November 21st, which is in 3 days, 72 hours, is when that commitment from the state expires. So our funding commitment would expire along with that letter should the rest of the funding not be identified and provided to the state for verification.
I didn't write the motion, but I mean,
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I agree to that.
yeah, I agree with that as well. Okay, so, there's a motion, there's a second. Are there enough findings?
I just want to clarify the motion really quick. The motion is to approve with the contingency added by the vice mayor. And our motioner is Councilmember Bauer, second, Councilmember Padilla.
No,
Oh, sorry, Via Padua. Do we need any additional information? Are you?
Yes, just to tag on to what the clerk said, with appropriate findings based on the council's discussion. And I believe, and I would like to clarify this with the acting city manager, with a return to council at a future meeting for approval on the expenditure.
Everybody heard that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Yeah, can you restate that, please? So I understand.
Sure. It was a motion to approve supporting the application of Services First, California, Inc. for the local government matching grants program for behavioral health continuum infrastructure program, BCHIP Round 1, for the Services First of Northern California Recovery Center located at 1005 North El Dorado Street, Stockton, California 95202, with appropriate findings based on the discussion that council had here today, identified by the mayor for the city manager, and then contingent on the full amount being provided to the state by the date that's included in the letter, which I heard you say was November 21st, 2025, and with a trip back to the council for approval of the expenditure at a future meeting.
You'd have to come back. Okay. Council, please vote.
It's abstaining.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Vice Mayor, you can't abstain unless you have an actual conflict. So you're required to vote by the charter.
Okay, motion carries 6 to 1 with Vice Mayor Lee dissenting. Okay, we are not going to be able to get to item 16.5 because we're not going to be able to get to item 16.5 because we are over, we are past 11 o'clock, which means we cannot have any new items, so that will be pushed off to a future meeting. Our next meeting, I know, is the 9th of December. City manager's update.
What point of clarification, really quick, or point of whatever you said I need to clarify? So 16.5, which is, I was excited to hear, we're not going to hear it. The findings from the original investigation have been concluded. Can we at least have those released, or no?
No, your policy says that you can't hear any new business items after 11, so you can't have the discussion at all.
Got it.
Okay, city managers.
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report. Okay, council comments, and the timer is 20 minutes. No, you're the one that created the policy.
It's 15.
Oh, 15, sorry. Oh, sorry, 15 minutes. Where did I get that 20 minutes? Okay, Councilwoman Padilla.
I just wanted to acknowledge the Latino community members who spoke earlier in support of the mayor. You know, I did notice some laughter in the audience, and I just want to remind everyone that it takes a lot of courage for someone to come out and speak. I know when I first came and spoke at the podium, I was nervous and I lacked confidence. And so for people to come out here and speak publicly, whether they're here often or the first time, we hear positive comments, we hear negative comments, and all voices deserve the same respect. No one steps up to the podium should feel dismissed or unwelcome. So just a reminder, please make sure this space is where everyone feels safe to speak. I am working with staff to schedule the next homeless ad hoc committee meeting. I would still like that to occur sometime this month in November. At that meeting, I will be discussing the Safe Grounds Initiative, as well as hearing presentation from St. Mary's on the Navigation Center and on pathways. I also want to congratulate our new city manager, Johnny Ford. I'm looking forward to working with him to his expertise and leadership he will bring to our city. On Thursday, November 2nd, I will be hosting a food distribution for our SUSD families. So I want to give a huge shout out to Walmart, El Concilio, various community members, as well as our own code enforcement department here at the city of Stockton. They donated $500 worth of canned goods. And this will help our families of SUSD, as 80% of those families suffer from poverty. If anyone would like to donate dried or canned goods, please reach out to me to contribute. To my constituents in District 1, please don't hesitate to reach out to me with any city-related concerns. My direct cell phone number, 209-565-2421. And lastly, I want to encourage all my colleagues and members of the public to join me at the Walk for Hunger on Thanksgiving Day morning in support of the Emergency Food Bank. It's a wonderful way to give back and stand together for families in need. Thank you.
Isn't it run? No, is it? Run or walk? Yes, Councilmember Blower.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, I'm going to try and be quick. I've had a lot going on. I want to thank Sandra Chan for inviting me to do a tour of the Children's Museum. I had a lot of good experiences taking my daughters when they were small there, and I'm glad to see that facility continue to thrive. November 6th, I mentioned earlier, the Lindsay Point plaque removal. Proud of our city for doing that, and I want to recognize our city clerk for really spearheading that and taking charge on that. So I think that was long overdue and well done. I joined the mayor and Councilmember Enriquez at that. Let's see, November 8th, joined the mayor at the Hmong New Year at the fairgrounds, and that was a great group. We have a very, very strong Hmong community here in Stockton. They've been here. Part of it was a 50th anniversary, so 50 years they've been here with us. And then later that evening, I went to the Stockton Kings opener. Now, unfortunately, they did not win that game, but they've won the next 3 games. So they're now 3-1, and the next game is tomorrow night. So very excited to have the Stockton Kings back in action. Let's see, the 11th, lots of Veterans Day events, also the Civic Auditorium's 100th anniversary. And I do recommend, if you haven't had a chance, they have a pretty cool display with like some old artifacts that have come from the Civic Auditorium, a lot of cool pictures. Then that afternoon on Veterans Day, the Weberstown Mall hosted a Veterans Day celebration that was put on by the Chamber, and Carl Ross Post was there to kind of run the thing. So that was a cool deal. On the 14th, Dave Wong's 50th anniversary. So that 50 years they've been getting it done in our community. So that was pretty cool. Then on the 15th, the NAACP Freedom Fund banquet. Joined council members Enriquez and Padilla there. Want to congratulate former city manager Harry Black for receiving one of the Freedom Fighter Awards. So it was nice to see him. Coming up this on the 20th, I'll be going to the Kettle Kickoff Luncheon for the Salvation Army. The Friday night, the Animal Protection League in St. Mary's has their dueling pianos bingo event to raise money so that I believe people, it will allow people in the shelter to take care of their animals. And then finally, next Tuesday is the Emergency Food Bank food box giveaway. And that's something that I've been doing with my daughter Caroline, gosh, since she was like 12. So this will be like our 11th, 12th year. Actually, she might have been 10 when we started. So I'm looking forward to that. And if any of you want to join me, let me know, and I'll hook you up. And finally, I just want to close my comments by congratulating Johnny Ford and just say I look forward to working with him. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Vice Mayor Lee.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to try, well, wait till you restart the clock. Don't want to be cheated. Okay, first let me start by saying that tonight's meeting went very different than I expected, so I want to start by saying that I really enjoyed the fact that we got through almost everything. The most exciting thing I was waiting for we did not get to, but I'm hoping that we do next meeting. But I do have comments that include my reaction to our last meeting because we did not have council comments at that meeting. First thing I want to say to the new city manager coming in, I look forward to working with him. And I really appreciate all the members of the public that came out tonight to talk in support of or in concern of the future direction of this City Hall. And I look forward to him working with staff and to working with him as well. The last time we had a meeting here, our special meeting, we had a conversation about the letter that was unauthorized by our city manager, our interim city manager at the time. And I want to thank the council for voting 7-0 to forward those concerns that were brought here to the referring agencies, because now we can finally get past a lot of the stuff that happened with the last city manager so this group can move forward, because I know all of us individually and collectively want to do that. I want to thank PD, the chief, the assistant chief, Captain Morris, for meeting with me and Councilmember Enriquez today to go over crime stats by district. I think it was a really informative experience to be able to see where things are trending up and where things are actually getting better. And so I just want to thank the staff at the department for doing that, and all of the officers who are doing a great job at getting our community safer. I did see a post by Congressman Harder where he talked about robberies increasing in Stockton, and I did send him a letter yesterday, and I copied the chief on the fact that our department is doing a phenomenal job, and we do see crime going down in our city. And I think narrative and storytelling is really important, and I want to acknowledge the work that our department's doing. And I invited the congressman to a conversation to help us get some federal dollars, because there's always a need here in our community, and so I'll be following up on that. I had a meeting with the NAACP and the BIA about our CESP agreement, where we talked about making sure that the jobs that we talked about creating for or outreaching to our marginalized communities are actually, it's a real process. So we talked about what that investment would look like, and I look forward to staff following up on that. Today we handed out hundreds of turkeys and hams in Sierra Vista for South Stockton, I just want to thank R.C. Thompson, the Housing Authority, and Georgia Brown Lee for all their work, because that work is extremely important. And showing up for our community is important. Toys for Joy is returning on December 20th. So for those of you who are in District 6, this is a District 6 event. I welcome everybody to come out. We're expecting 5,000 kids and their families. It's totally free. Tiffany Haddish will be returning as Miss Claus, and I am actually going to dress up as Santa. Don't take any pictures, but it's going to happen. Okay, so there's that. Exactly. Oh, no, you can be Santa too, but you're going to be Santa over there. I'm going to be Santa where Tiffany is, but we'll figure that out. The DEI investigation that we started has been completed. I want to thank my committee colleagues for their participation. The report will be finalized and provided to the clerk, so it'll be added to the December 9th agenda. I just want to say for the record, I've asked about our budget book. My understanding is that the budget book is not going to be provided until the investigations that are currently underway about the budget are concluded. So I'm hoping that that happens quickly, and I just want to reiterate for the public that Optic was not in the original budget that we passed. I did send a letter to California State Auditor Malia Cohen requesting that we have a state audit performed here in the city because we lack internal controls when it comes to our finances. We have no auditor, we have no CFO, no AFCFO, no budget officer, no procurement director, and I'm just concerned that, of that, and I've asked Ms. Cohen and her team to look into that. This Saturday, District 6 is going to have our monthly virtual town hall meeting. The meeting is at noon. It'll be promoted on all social media. You can go to my social media, check it out on District 6. And so I want to just speak just in general to what's been happening. And tonight I speak plainly about where we are as a city and where we're headed if we don't immediately course correct. And for months I've been begging for this council, individually and as a group, to focus on the work that the taxpayers have elected us to do. Strengthening public safety, reducing youth violence, growing our tax base, cutting wasteful spending, finalizing our tax share agreement with the county, stabilizing our general fund, and restoring financial responsibility to City Hall. But instead of addressing those urgent issues, I feel like we're in this hamster wheel of chaos, pulled into another political distraction, another targeted attack, another expansion of an investigation for an event that happened in May of 2025. That's wild and out. It's been addressed. The results were available and have been done for a couple weeks now, and we're going into another 2 weeks of not getting closure to an unnecessary political witch hunt. And so it's hypocrisy to say we want to go in a different direction, yet we keep doing the same thing. It's actually the definition of insanity. And it's becoming political theater, which is dangerous to our city. Because while our finances remain unstable, while our internal controls remain weak, while public safety unions are already hinting at potential arbitration, the council continues to prioritize sideshows over solutions. So let me just remind this body of something historically significant and deeply troubling. Stockton is the first city in California under the Trump administration that I know of, and I've done a lot of research, to dismantle its diversity, equity, and inclusion framework. I think that is significant. And it wasn't until I was talking to Ben Crump this weekend that that was pointed out to me, that in a state like California, to be able to see the dismantling of a DEI program under this administration is extremely alarming. Not only that, but it was done in secret. It was done without authorization, without transparency, without any concern for the harmful message that it sends to our diverse community, and more importantly, to the power of this mayor and this council to make that decision if that was the direction that we wanted to go. Which, for the record, it is not a decision that I want to go and that none of my colleagues have shared they want to go. And when I raised the concerns about that unlawful dismantling, I was not met with support, not with accountability, but with racial troping, now public whipping, because when I think about the movie Roots, Kunta Kinte was beaten until he said his name was Toby, and he refused to say his name was Toby. And I think the expectation is that if you keep whipping me, or moving my seat or doing whatever, that I'm gonna fold. That actually emboldens me to go harder, stronger, and be more loud on social media. I don't wanna do that though. And I do wanna say this publicly because I think oftentimes when you build a perception that somebody's being difficult or unwilling to compromise or challenging or bucking the system, no. I'm doing the mandate that my district sent me here to do, and that is to provide ethical governance, accountability, transparency, and be able to focus on the issues that are important to them. So let's be very clear. It's not oversight when the person being targeted is the one demanding transparency. That's retaliation, and the public sees it for what it is. And whether we look at social media or the news or not, everybody is saying it, but yet we're still ignoring it. So Stockton's facing the same warning signs that we saw before bankruptcy: rising costs, unstable finances, labor tensions, no clear fiscal direction, and leadership more focused on politics than the people. So if this continues, I fully believe, based on patterns, trends, and decades of financial history, Stockton's at the risk of sliding right back toward bankruptcy. So I think it's important to say that for the record. So we've been here before, and the people of Stockton is the one that paid the price, emotionally, economically, and for an entire generation. And we cannot and must not allow the city to go backward. And that's where I look to the public to make the decision, because ultimately I'm one voice, my colleagues all the way down to the end are each one voice, and collectively we share a shared obligation that we made to everybody here. But ultimately it takes 4 people to decide the direction that we're going in, and you can see the trend. So I want to be very clear to speak for myself, because oftentimes the narrative that's built about me is completely far from the truth. My priorities are the same as the community's priorities: fiscal stability, public safety, youth opportunity, financial responsibility, accountability, and a city that everybody can call home and be proud to do so. So what I would say to my colleagues, and I talk to Councilwoman Padilla often, and me and the mayor actually had good conversations this week, believe it or not. I told her blue suit last week was stellar, almost made me go home and change. I told her kudos for conducting a meeting where it was a lot going on up here, but she managed to get through it.
Are you going to comment on my outfit, what
well,
you told me?
By the way, when Cynthia Gale Boyd says she said F you to me, we have our own passionate conversations. I don't know how she figured that out, but I wasn't threatened in that conversation. And when I left, I said the same to her in my head. What I said about your outfit is that's an outfit for jail. But anyway, what I will say is, all of us up here are passionate, and as much as people, criticize the mayor, and I do a lot, this is a hard job. To be able to wrangle this group, wrangle these meetings, do all this and sit in the line of fire, I empathize with her, but I will also say to all of us is that I'm hoping that with tonight's energy and the positivity, just the new manager coming in, that we can just get focused, because the public is exhausted, and they want the meetings that they pay for to be about the issues that actually impact their lives, not about political retaliation, personal agendas, and the chaos. So tonight I'm just calling for this whole council to just do the job we were sworn to do: refocus, reset, return to the people's business, and whether we agree or disagree, and I think we disagreed and agreed tonight, it's not personal, and I will do my part in pulling our group together. I called the mayor, it's like a broken relationship. How do we go to therapy? What's the intervention? Where's the mediation? Councilwoman Padilla has quit being our mediator. She don't want to do it anymore. But, nonetheless, I'm fully committed to us getting on track, because you all deserve leadership that prioritizes that. And, I love Stockton, and I know everybody up here does. So that is all I have. And can we just put Wildin' Out at the top of next week's agenda so we can just move forward? And I'm going back to the show because of y'all, just so y'all know. That's it. Good night.
Councilmember Enriquez.
Oh, surprise, Vice Mayor, you have 3 minutes left. Pretty late, but I do my best to ignore, but I'm also human, and I go down these rabbit holes sometimes, and my mom always tells me not to get to it, but all I'll say is that there's a lot of work that is being done, and I know for me, I can speak for my constituents in my district that I work extremely hard every single day, and I do my best when I wake up. What can I do today? What can I get off my checklist? What can I do to respond to my constituents? I want to thank people that don't even live in my district that Facebook messaged me. I know we had someone that messaged me about an ice cream shop, and the moment she told me, and she's in the audience, 5 hours later, I went by when I had free time, and I talked to the business owner, and I let her know, hey, I have someone in the community that raised a concern. I wanted to follow up with you to see if you're okay. So I want to thank you for, and you know who you are, for flagging that, because again, it's all about all of us working together. We're not always in the know of all the issues in our districts, in every street corner, every single pothole, and as much as I try, we all don't know everything. So it really takes all of us to really get to it, to really let us know about what's going on. Utilize Ask Stockton. I know we say it over and over again. I know Optic is going to do this rollout of videos, but also all of us need to continuously ask our constituents, have you downloaded the Ask Stockton app? I can do it, but I'm going to now say, well, did you submit it yet? And see what the reaction is. And I'll guarantee you a lot of the time they don't have it, but then when it's put on them, then they're going to start to say, wow, I do have ownership. I can download it. I can ask questions. I can take photos of anything that I see that I want to be able to see better for my district or wherever I'm at in the city. But I want to lay that context because, and I know at the Vice Mayor and I, we talk a lot too, where I have people comment, I'll say, oh, I work extremely hard. I'll follow up. I'll have the receipts. I'll show the photos of my before and after photos. And I collect all that because there's a lot of things that I've been really intentional on with my district. But when it comes to infrastructure, I'll get to my rhythm now. But with potholes, I get really specific about what I fix. So I'll say it again. There was a pothole fix on the corner of Pacific and Maple on Miracle Mile. Another one fixed on the corner of Picardy Drive and Pershing Avenue right by Victory Park after the rain. And there are ongoing cases that we have with potholes. But again, I ask my constituents and those that are watching and that are here to, if you don't have Ask Stockton, download it. If you see potholes, then please report them. But I want to thank our staff because they work extremely hard behind the scenes to get these issues fixed. It may not be done in 24 hours, but know that once it's in the system, we can then document it and have it, reported along the way. I give a shout out to the graffiti abatement team last week, but again, thank you again. We were able to fix a crosswalking sign by Oak Park on Alpine Avenue. We were also give a shout out to RTD. They helped us put up a brand new bus stop that was bent for who knows how long. Even while I was campaigning 2 years ago, there was a bent sign that really got on my nerves. We finally got it fixed right by Victory Elementary. So these are kids that when they get off school, that's what they see. You might think, well, it's a bus stop. What does that matter? But it goes a long way in terms of appearance, what they see, how leaders are taking care of every little bit that we can think of. So it really does go a long way when our kids now can cross the street, take the bus, and they actually have a sign that has the times and the schedule and an upright bus stop sign. So little things like that do go a long way. Going back in terms of ownership, I want to thank Mrs. K. She knows who she is because I'm guessing she's probably watching. She says she would. She flagged to me an abandoned vehicle on east side of North El Dorado Street in my district, and within 3 days, she then texted me back and said, hey, Mara, just to let you know, thanks for flagging it. They actually did pick it up this morning. So again, it's that relationship. We're all working together about flagging issues, following up, giving case report numbers of Ask Stockton, us, following up with staff just to be safe. It's a relationship that's ongoing, but that's really how it works together. It's not just complain about it and then it's just going to magically get fixed. That's not how it's going to work, at least not with me. I also want to be able to flag that there are also 5 more Ask Stockton cases that are in progress on my end, on my phone, that I reported on behalf of some of my constituents. In terms of events, a lot of my colleagues have already mentioned what we've attended. The Lindsay Point plaque was a big deal. Thank you again to our city clerk. A few of us, I think the Councilmember Blauer and the mayor and I were outside City Hall for the Marine flag raising. And then I also joined the mayor and the vice mayor at the ribbon cutting for the Animal Services satellite. The mayor and I were joking earlier that we will likely still do dog yoga at one point, but that is something that once we heard that that was a class offered in that space, why not? And kittens too, I guess, but I'm a dog guy, so we're going to do some dog yoga. I also joined Councilmember Blauer at the Dave Wong's 50th anniversary, which is proud to say it's in my district. And then also joined Councilmember Blauer and Councilwoman Padilla at the NAACP Gala over the weekend. 2 weekends ago, I want to thank the Stockton East Water District, Cal Water, for supporting me. I graduated from the Water Education for Latino Leaders program, which I've been doing for the last 6 months. Our cohort graduated in Los Angeles, so I was pretty busy that weekend finalizing all the last minute things we had to do to complete our program. Last night, the mayor raised a really good point about just how we want to become united and really work together. And there's a lot of things that have been going on. But I attended a community meeting where there was 40 community leaders. And it's really interesting where we all sat down. And I don't know if they knew that there would be an elected official in the room, but when I walked in, some of them were surprised. But we had a really good facilitator that said, rate the city council, A, B, C, D, F, rate the county supervisors, rate Congress, state legislators. And what was interesting is that during that conversation, all of those groups I just said all got an F. And then the facilitator said, now I want you all to rate each other. How would you rate yourselves as a community when you've engaged with these groups? They gave themselves an F too. And it was really eye-opening for me to sit there, and I try not to speak a lot because I don't want it to be like, oh, Mario's the only elected, he has to say something, but just to sit there and watch the interactions, to hear what people were saying. We had a lot of young people that were there, and I was proud that the facilitator and the adults really motivated them to speak up and stand up and give them their opinions. And it was really humbling to just hear of, we're tired, we're exhausted, we want positive things, we want good policies, we want to see less fighting and more coming together. We want more consensus building. And it was a lot of things that I think all of us in this room have shared for the last 11 months. A few of us have shared vocally, not just up here, but also with our constituents. But I wanted to just put that out there because I want to thank the organizers that did that, of how important that is. So sometimes you have to get that feedback, and it's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to be the wonderful things that you do, but it might be the constructive criticism, the tough insights that you need to, recalibrate. When you go home, you might think, wow, I got a lot of negative feedback, but maybe it wasn't negative feedback. Maybe in some ways it was constructive feedback. And what can I do tomorrow when I wake up to be a better person, be a better leader, be a better council member, better mayor, better community member, etc. And then this morning, I had another reflection. Councilman Padilla and I, we went to El Concilio this morning where we had a listening session with about maybe 20, 25 community leaders. And what made it really special that we had my old boss, Janet Murguia, who's the president of Unidos US, then National Council La Raza, which is the largest Latino civil rights organization in the country. And that was my first job out of college. So when I graduated from UOP, I had someone that believed in me, 19-year-old, and I graduated 2 years later, and they created a job for me to go out to Washington, D.C. to run their youth program on behalf of the national organization. And to see her, and my mom, and, we were there really discussing the issues of Stockton, and her goal was really to say, we've been traveling cities throughout the country, what's important for Stockton? What are the issues you all face? And a lot of the conversation was about economic development and creating jobs. And at the last meeting, and I say this because Councilwoman Padilla was there, where we get into this narrative of, I'm tired of us bragging about being the most diverse city in America when we're not really showing up for the people that have been disenfranchised, that have been that haven't been represented the right way for decades. And especially with everything going on, and I'll get to it with immigration, with really creating good jobs, really creating good policies. It's really in some ways hypocritical, because we have to really think about what we're actually doing for the people and what we're defending here in Stockton and the richness that we have. But then when we see here homophobic attacks, attacks against Latinos, all these other things that are happening, yet we still say we're the most diverse city in America, like it's a badge of honor. We have to really start thinking about, well, then let's align that with good policies before we get to say that, because there's a lot of work we have to do. It's been a wild year, whether it's nationally, here locally, but there's a lot of work that we have to do. But hearing Janet, Ms. Murguia this morning, and then us hearing from the community leaders, it just really made me think about what we have to start doing moving forward as individuals, but also as a council. In terms of upcoming events, I'd love to invite all of you. I know I posted it online. I want to thank our Midtown leaders who have been really vocal for years. I know this is something that the mayor knows pretty well, too. We will be doing our official crossing of the Hawk Light tomorrow at the corner of Rose and Pershing Avenue, directly across from the Hagen Museum. So please join us at 1 p.m. tomorrow. I've also informed the media as well, but it's going to be a really great, just symbolic walk in terms of our safety. I know Dan Richardson, among others, talk a lot about Pershing, but it's something that, it's one way to show that we are making progress. It's not going to be done tomorrow, but we're slowly investing in infrastructure and ways to really slow down that street. And that's one way that, as we cross together, and cars will stop, or they better, we're going to show them that that we're really invested in the priority and safety of our community. Let's see. This Thursday, November 20th, I'll be speaking at the Transgender Day of Remembrance in the evening. And then also, I have my, I think, 13th, 14th Mornings with Mario this Saturday, the 22nd, at Poppy Coffee on the Miracle Mile from 9 to 10:30 a.m. And then next week, speaking of policies, I am hosting an immigration town hall next Tuesday, November 25th at 6:30 at the Catalyst. This is something that I've been promoting now for a couple days. But again, I'm one person, I'm one council member, but I know this is something that is going on in the community. A lot of folks have been silent, especially our elected officials at every level of government when it comes to this. I've said it before, I've made statements in the past, I've been outside the ICE facility, as many folks have known, but it's one of those things where, again, we have to really show that we're standing up for our community and really reaffirming our values of who we are as a city and what we stand for in terms of integrity, our character, what we care about, our people. We're 45% Latino city, so I've been really taking the last 6-8 months of sitting down and researching and brainstorming policies, whether it's our street vendor communities, which I've had a town hall and I have another one, whether it's been our immigration policy, whether it's been me and the vice mayor talking about our housing policy and housing affordability. We may not have it all right now presented, but know that there have been several months behind the scenes having meetings with people, getting feedback to really create policies that I hope that once we do present it to council, it is something that we'll be able to vote on and show our community where we stand and who we are as a people. So that's coming up as well. And then I've had some folks that have been asking about Oxford Circle. I am working with our staff. We are going to be hosting a specific community dialogue on the Oxford Circle infrastructure layout in either early or mid-December. So please, for those that I know have been asking in my district, that is coming. And then just continue legislation committee. I want to thank Councilman Padilla, Vice Mayor, in terms of just the work that we've been able to do. As you've seen tonight, we were able to approve some of the policies that we presented through Ledge Committee. But again, as I mentioned, continue to work on housing affordability, advocacy for renters, continuously reviewing our council policies, justifying ways to make our meetings more efficient. And then Cleveland School Board members, I want to thank them as they presented a gun violence prevention policy that I did pass to our staff, which I hope we can get presented to Ledge as one ways to tackle crime here in our city. And then for those that didn't notice, I want to thank the mayor. I have 2 new committees that have been added to my portfolio. I'm now on the Crime Prevention Committee officially, and now on the Stockton Unified School District 3x3. I'm proud to say that I take my work very seriously. I have 100% participation rate. I do my best. I'm not perfect, but whenever the mayor appoints me to something, I really appreciate it because I hope that she does see the value that I bring to these specific committees and the ones that I have been participating so far. So I'm excited to have a District 4 voice on these 2 committees. And then the last thing, since I have 20 seconds left, I'm going to use every single second. I'm kidding. Please email me, as always, at dist4@stocktonca.gov and/or call me at 209-645-2711. Thank you all.
Ooh, no buzzer. Okay. Before I get into all of my comments, I wanted to bring up Downtown Stockton Alliance, and that's why I had to step outside and speak to the city attorney, because I found out we have to do 2 motions if we're going to bring it back. So the first motion that we would have to do would be to suspend the rules, because usually you have to speak about it at the very next meeting. When I read the statute that's in our council policies, it said, yeah, we have to vote to suspend the rules, and then we can vote to bring it back. So I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules so we can consider bringing back Downtown Stockton Alliance.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Council, please vote. So we're going to suspend it then, the rules, and I would say my next motion is then to bring it back, date certain.
Now it's the motion to reconsider so that it
Yeah.
can be brought back.
Yes. So I would like to bring it back then for December 16th.
No, you have to have the motion to reconsider vote right now in order for you to bring it back on the 16th.
Oh, okay. So motion to bring it back. That's it.
Second.
Second.
I have a second motion, second. Council, please vote. And then, okay, motion carries 5-0, and on the 16th. I don't need to do a motion for that, I can just say date certain of the 16th?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Mayor, I think that there might be a noticing requirement in order to reconsider. So give me a second.
I think it's 45 days.
Yeah, I think you have to do a noticing in order to meet the
For the
minimum
public?
threshold.
Okay, at the soonest date possible.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay. So let me get into the rest of my comments then. I want to thank Peter Ragsdale and the HUD of San Joaquin. They helped the public speaker that we had the other week, Erica Parker, when she came up to talk about some of the issues at one of their properties. They worked it out. So thank you, Peter Ragsdale. Also want to congratulate Gospel Center Rescue Mission. They just had their 85th anniversary, and they have over a 70%, it's nearly 71% success rate, which is huge when you're talking about people battling addiction. And I'm talking about all different kinds of addictions, and then reuniting them with their family and working on that, and working in jobs, and just a lot of good things happening out of Gospel Center Rescue Mission. And there will be an upcoming ribbon cutting for the New Life building, which I think is 110 units. The new Pet Wellness and Adoption Center, super excited about that. We're talking about checkups, vaccinations, preventative care, promoting positive pet and responsible pet ownership, reducing the stray populations. They can do about 30 spay or neuters per day, as well as education, dog yoga, yes, and most importantly, I feel most importantly, provide a safe and loving environment for animals waiting adoption. They have a state-of-the-art surgical center. They were doing a procedure there, and Vice Mayor was like, I can't look, as we walked through. They have very nice indoor kennels, climate controlled. They're looking for volunteers, so anybody that loves animals, if you want to help, you can volunteer there. And I want to specifically thank Alejandro. He is one of the animal control officers, and he has worked with the South Stockton neighborhood because there is a rabbit population that is expanding. Speaking on that animal vein, APL dueling pianos. The reason why APL is having this is because they're trying to raise money to get kennels to put at the Stockton Shelter for the Homeless at the Pathways Project. So people that are homeless will not have to abandon their pets. They will be able to bring their pets, which are their family, just like my pets are my family. I know that, I don't know if I can say this or not, but I just want to let our employees know we're working on benefits. We're working on it. So hopefully we'll have something before the end of the year. We've talked about affordability. Actually, I'm working on this affordability initiative, not just housing, but you have energy, you have groceries, food. I mean, everything is going up. I want to thank the governor's office and Secretary Morgan Caravalho for coming down. She did 3 sessions trying to recruit people for boards and commissions at the state level because our area is underrepresented, so we need more people at that level as well, so we have a seat at the table, and the governor's office is very well aware of the needs of Stockton. And then she met with our kids too, had a great little get-together with them, because guess what? On a lot of these boards and commissions, there's not an age requirement. So our kids could be participating on them. Fireside chat, I had a great fireside chat. I had about 25 people that came, and man, they were firing off the questions. They had lots of questions. I want to thank the gracious host for that and those that came out for that. I also was at the Little Flock Missionary Baptist Church. They had their 80th anniversary, and they are out in Boggs Track, and there were many different churches that were there in celebration, and really want to let them know, to give my appreciation to them for the work that they're doing in their community and beyond. Today, I had a meeting, Parenting with a Purpose, with the chief, Lincoln Unified, Stockton Unified, Lodi Unified, the County Office of Education. We had Chris from the HSA. We had CPS there. It was looking at what we can do, because our police department, they're not the educators, even though they do education, but their role is usually when kids have crossed that line. We want to get to them before that. We talked about purposeful purpose, having people understand how they can call 211 at any time. We're looking at themes, so for education in terms of, social media, parents, how do your kids use social media? How can you help them avoid things like cyberbullying, or they have bullying at school, nutrition, vaping, drugs, alcohol use, supporting your child, activities, financial literacy, resources. So we're looking at a lot of different avenues to reach parents where they are, so that they can help their children and head them off at the pass before they get into the place where police are involved. Oh, I forgot. Choo-choo! The other thing I wanted to bring up, so Amtrak now has rebranded. They are Gold Runner now, because it's not just the San Joaquins. You can literally take that train just about anywhere, because then they have throughway buses that will take you to the next location. We had people that were as far down as Madera and Merced that came up, and as far north as Roseville that came down. Lots of people out there, tours of the rail maintenance facility, tours of the new branding of the buses and the train. So that was just a great event as well. And then the last thing, yes, or two things. I would like to close the meeting in a moment of silence for Rebecca Neighbors. She was the council member for District 6. She passed away. She also was a teacher. So I would like to close with a moment of silence for her and her family, and her husband Jesse Neighbors, who also was a council member. And then the last thing before that is, yes, the manager search. It was a lot. Again, everybody participated in that. I do want to say that Section 408, I know that the city attorney started to talk about that, or read at least the first line of that, or part of that. I want the public to understand, and I will post it as well. Section 408, neither the council nor any of its members nor the mayor shall interfere with the execution by the city manager of his or her powers and duties, nor in any manner dictate the appointment or removal of any city officers or employees whom the city manager is empowered to appoint, except as expressly provided in Charter Section 406. And I plan on continuing to abide that section of our charter, as I know the rest of council will. Oh, I've got lots of time left. What else can I talk about? No, I'm just joking. So I would like to close our meeting, like I said, with a moment of silence. Okay? So. Okay, thank you, everyone. With that, a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All those in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned at
tell you what, come on.
Here it goes. That was a good pan. There you go. Not fair.
Walk it off, bro. You're good.
Oh, it's over.
Is this your friend? Come on, Taurus! Come on, Rush is over here! Come on! One, two, three! Come on, one side and out! Come on! Come on, break that up! 1, 2, 3! Come on, Steve! Hey, come on, break that up! Oh, down! Riley, you're doing your job! Hey, come on! 1, 2, 3! Come on, Red! Run it down! Oh, what? Oh, down back!
Oh. There you go.
Go easy on her. Come on, Myra. Come on, see, get up the head. Come on, get up there. 1, 2, 3. Off the head. Come on. Come on. Hey! CJ, go easy on her. Get it down. Get on. Come on. Get her out. Really, sit out of the ring. Come on. Come on, Myra. Come on, Myra. CJ, sweating. Hey, you up there. You see it. Don't give her a top kick. What are you doing? You're stupid for letting him in the ring, bro. This ain't no ring. go. 1, 2.
Finally, Rex! God damn it!
1, 2, 3. Over here. Come on! He's doing his job. Y'all loud.
Josh, it's like his first day!
He told me. Hey.
Oh yeah, you want to be Mr. Tough Girl, huh? Huh, Miss Pink wearing Santa Claus girly? Huh? It's done now! Tag!
Go my road!
Oi!
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. And it is for the TWF Women's Championship. Introducing first your challenger from Innsville, California. Please give it up for everyone's favorite ultra heroine, Brittany Wonder. And her opponent, fighting out of Hayward, California, she's your reigning and defending TWF Women's Champion, Rico
Awesome, hey!
Productions is an official affiliate of HBO Max. Click on the link in the description and sign up so you can watch hit series like Hard Knocks, Game of Thrones, and House of Dragons.
Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops.
Hey guys, Smacks here. If you guys like gaming, swing over to Twitch, Smacks_TTV, live most nights. Stop by, say hi, drop a follow.
Guys, join me, Alex the Man Angelov, and check out A&A Radio, where we're going to be talking about the latest and greatest financial news, investments, banking, and personal finance. Check out the channel and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops.
Guys, you're watching a Shady Mob production. Make sure to follow the Shady Mob podcast, where we break down all the latest content and talk about life. Please make sure to share, like, comment, and subscribe so you can be notified when the latest content drops. You're watching the latest episode of N1 from the End Zone. Please click on that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops. Now, let's kick it.
Hey guys, I'm here in Stockton today, and I'm with Donna. We're at this beautiful house in North Stockton, and some lucky buyer is going to be walking away with it. Imagine having a brand new place to live. Donna, somebody's looking for a house. What do they got to do?
Give me a call, and we will get you pre-qualified, look for you a home, and then do the process of closing.
All right, and to get this ball rolling, I know they got to talk to you. How do we get hold of you?
At 209-301-5193 or at dgaines@pmz.com.
All right, thank you, Donna. Hey guys, back to the show.